Good afternoon, everyone. And I hope you had a good lunch too. So, today, we are going to talk about digital transformation with cloud. It's a big subject, but it's something we all, I think, need to talk about. Today, every client that we work with, that I have worked with, is looking for new ways to use cloud to transform business processes and reinvent client experiences. Now, every journey is different, whether it's industry to industry or client to client. Across the board, they are so excited to do more with their data in the cloud and using new technologies like AI and blockchain to drive new business value from data. IBM has been and continues to be a trusted partner for thousands of enterprises on their journey to cloud. And it is because we bring more than innovative technology to the table. We have deep industry domain expertise and a commitment to data responsibility that our clients have come to expect. Of course, we're like 50 years old now. So, we bring to the table the understanding not only of your business model and industry-specific challenges, but how to apply that technology in new ways to get better outcomes. Until now, the emphasis for cloud has been on the easy stuff. Migrating relatively simple apps and workloads to infrastructure as a service to lower costs, and using public cloud to innovate with new technologies and extend existing apps. Over the past few years, cloud has become integral to nearly every digital and business transformation strategy, allowing enterprises to innovate and access the latest technologies like artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, high-performance computing, virtually from any vendor to reimagine business processes and ecosystems. It's allowed enterprises to tap into more sources of data, both their own as well as partner, social, weather, and other data sources, plus new ways to analyze it. I mean, if you think back 10 years ago, being in your car, you didn't have the ability to get all of the data that you have today. You can be going from one state to another, if you're from New York like me. But the bottom line is, we never before had the ability to enter into a new area and know that a storm is coming. Modernization of existing applications is the next big wave, and that is so important to remember. So I'm going to say it again. Modernization of existing applications is the next big wave. In fact, according to Forrester study recently, the #1 priority for enterprises' digital transformation is modernizing the up to 80% of existing mission-critical applications. Those that successfully do are seeing benefits in the form of greater agility and readily accessible data needed for new insights and to be able to create new insights quickly. So now is the time to develop new applications and start moving the traditional mission-critical enterprise applications into an open hybrid cloud environment. But here's the thing, you need to overlay those applications with artificial intelligence to serve enterprise class needs. This is what we call Chapter 2 of the cloud. It's the next logical step in digital transformation. But even that hasn't been without challenges. lift and shift everything to the cloud and sort it out later models have resulted in massive unexpected costs. And I think we all know that, particularly if it's complex workloads. Sometimes as much as 5 times. And those costs are really more in the preparation, the moving of the data, integrating to the back office, etc. Then there's developing new apps and tapping into SaaS from more vendors has created new tech silos that we've never had before. And it makes it difficult to manage security, compliance, resiliency, and govern across vendor and clouds. So what's next? The future of your business or your client's business rides on the cloud architects that you are defining today. We at IBM believe we have a responsibility to help you get that journey right. For your success, for the success of your business, for your customers' success. 5 key principles actually define our approach to cloud and separate it from other vendor approaches. Hybrid, multi-cloud, open, secure management. We built our cloud on open standards with a choice for more cloud models: public, dedicated, private, and managed. So you can run the right workload on the best fit model that lets you build, run, and move your applications freely on or off premise without locking. And David talked about that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. But the bottom line is IBM fully participates in the many key open source projects, whether it's Linux, Cloud Foundry, Kubernetes, Hyperledger, just to name a few. Our open approach is confirmed through our acquisition of Red Hat, creating the world's leading hybrid cloud provider. I have to tell you, it's been really I was just about to talk about the red hats. And I couldn't have timed this better myself. So thank you. I'll pay you later. I'm sure you will. We basically give you hybrid integration to connect all your business apps and data, no matter where they live. Access all enterprise data, regardless of source or type. That's where we want to go. So our Watson Anywhere approach leveraging Kubernetes, provides access to all your data on or off premise, regardless of source or type, across clouds. It allows enforcing privacy and applying advanced data science, new algorithms, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Why? This drives new insights that enable more engaging, personalized client experiences, all while extending the value of your existing investment. This is the way to move cognitive enterprises to deliver impact at scale. Multi-cloud management gives you seamless visibility and governance of applications and workloads across clouds from your preferred mix of vendors and models. All of this with world-class security, which is very important, and access to pervasive encryption to better protect hybrid environments. We are here to help you get your journey right with a deep understanding of your industry and a proven approach to help you prioritize and modernize what matters most. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but a typical organization struggles to manage an average of 33 unique data sources as they tap into new and diverse data sources to identify opportunities and missed for innovation. This leads to data access and quality changes, slow time to insight, and missed opportunity. I want to repeat that again because I'm not sure that you understood what I was saying, but we have found in working with our clients that there is a struggle to manage these data sources, particularly the unique data sources, and we found that the average is 33. Because this is work that just needs to be done, and when you're identifying opportunities for innovation, you can wind up with a lot of quality and data challenges. IBM has helped thousands of enterprises across 20 industries realize a faster, more secure to cloud. I want to talk to you today about a couple of partnerships we've had with our ecosystem that's very, very important to me. I think historically, you'll know of one, the Mayflower. Who remembers going in their history class, the Mayflower? 3 people. Okay. Well, the Mayflower embarked on a journey to the New World from Plymouth Sound in 1620. We're working with 3 companies, and basically the mission is to design and build a Mayflower for the 21st century with an end game to participate in the Mayflower 400 commemorations next year in 2020. And basically, we needed it to be an autonomous vessel. We needed it to be powered by renewable energy. We needed to push the boundaries wherever we could and develop new platforms for oceanographic research. And the thing about this that is so special is even with the participation in this commemoration, we also needed to go beyond 2020. Here are some of the challenges that we found that occurred. So let's go deeper on this. It was regulatory, resistance, and technical. The technical you would expect. But these are common themes that actually happen in real life when you're trying to change the business drivers or the business to an area that is newer than anybody ever expected, because who would think that we were going to take the Mayflower and change it? Regulatory, it was like, who's going to flag and class this? The International Maritime Organization and the United Kingdom's Maritime and Coast Guard Agency, they really weren't ready for this. There was a lot of debating that was going on. There was a lot of defining of the United Kingdom's position. From a resistance perspective, in the maritime industry, there was bureaucracy. The decision makers, they were calling them graybeards in a very traditional industry sort of way. There was some back and forth of who owns this risk. There also was a lot of discussion on why take a risk for this. And there was a perceived threat to traditional employment. And I'll tell you, that's something that I find a lot when I'm working with a lot of our managed service providers and cloud service providers, that there is a resistance to the traditional way of doing things. From a technical perspective, we found that their timing and the desire to remain on the crest of the autonomy wave. And Watson, we had to bring Watson in, and that was to be able to help us develop the technology that would allow both from a remote as well as an autonomous control. And the biggest thing was integrating a system. Mini drones and UAVs, environmental sensors, this was all new to this particular industry. This is a ship that's been built. There's still some work going on, but this is what they've come up with. This ship is going to be the centerpiece of Plymouth and the wider UK's Mayflower 400 commemorations next year in 2020. If you look at the capabilities, this is totally state of the art. And one of the things that I am so excited about is I was told last week that all of the software piece is complete. That piece is totally complete. And so it does have the ability to have the autonomous control systems and navigation. They've had the ability to have the power tech and the solar panel. The weather prediction and avoidance is there as well. So this is one of the things that's near and dear to my heart because in my role, that's what I do. I work with companies such as this that are springboarding new solutions that change the dynamics of particular industries. I call them my disruptors. Why? Because typically it's something whose time has come. I'm going to say it that way. But I'm also finding, to be really honest with you, that the revenue that gets driven a lot of times from the consumption of a disruptive solution is tantamount more than anyone has ever thought of before. I'm seeing this change that's happening in various industries where they're either cutting out pieces of specific steps that we've always used and taken in the past, or they're bringing in new ones to be able to cut through whatever red tape and drive things quicker, faster, easier, and more agile. And when you start looking at things like that together, it makes you start thinking a little bit differently about technology. Like I had said earlier, modernization is a big thing. It's the next big wave. And it's the next big wave because there are a lot of service providers that are working on the next big thing. And where we have the ability to be a part of it, I'm there. I think that's why I have this job. I think that's why I like my job. Because sitting down with someone and having them tell me, this is how this was yesterday, this is how we're going to do it today. Next, I'm not going to talk about it. I want you to hear from one of my favorite cloud service providers. Techsoft is a premier contact software developer. They're originally based in Turkey and still are, but they wanted to go global. And it's a company that did not start in a garage. It started actually in their living room. It was a husband and wife team. And I had the pleasure 3 years ago to meet with them at IBM's Interconnect conference. And we usually have like just 20 minutes with our customers. And we really went long, but we went long because they wanted to go global, they knew that they had to do it fast, and they wanted to move to cloud. And they had a lot of hard questions for me, particularly, what was our cloud platform like? How were we going to be able to sustain them in the manner that they wanted to drive their business? And I had some hard questions for them too. Because my question to them was, what are you going to do about differentiation? Because every time you launch your product, there's somebody who's just going to copy it, and they're going to be your competitor. So what's your roadmap? The second thing that I wanted to know, because I also thought that it was as important, is how are you going to scale? You're saying you want to do this so fast. How are you going to be able to scale? Well, after, I think it was 45 minutes, I suggested something that we don't even have at IBM. I suggested that we have a 3-day technical workshop where we would be able to plan their technical roadmap to answer all of those questions, period. When I walked out of the meeting, my pan-European leader was there and said, "What are you talking about?" And I said, "This is something we need to do. It's important. If they really want to get here this fast, then we need to lock everybody in a room for 3 days, and let's see what we come up with." And basically what they did was they actually created their journey to cloud. So I'm going to ask you to take a minute and listen.
My name is Tuğba Gürsoy. I'm the co-founder of Techsoft and responsible from sales and marketing. Techsoft was established in 2008 in Istanbul. We are a software developer company which focused on contact center and IPPBX solutions products. Now we have 3 offices, including Dubai and Delaware, together with Istanbul. Used by more than 450 companies and 10,000 agents in 10 different countries now. We are providing a multi-channel customer communication platform within a single agent interface in 25 different languages. That's Techsoft.
I wanted to show that because, to me, this is the work that we now do at IBM. We're not the same company that your parents may have known, or maybe you even worked with before. So essentially, at the end of the day, AI is about the ability to build, deploy, manage, and catalog. And IBM's portfolio allows you to do that. And that's something that Techsoft not only understands, but they're driving to the next level. I can't tell you exactly what their next level is and what they're doing, but trust me, it's very disruptive. But our AI portfolio gives you the ability to build models for making predictions. Watson Studio supports this. To deploy, to put in custom models in place. Whether it's a business process or if it's in an application. This is where the models start to make the predictions, and that is Watson machine learning. Catalog for data discovery and activation. I'm going to be honest with you guys, this piece is not what I built. And I have Markeisha looking at me saying, shh. But everything here makes a lot of sense. I can tell you, whether it's a one-on-one or a workshop, what makes sense more, because I've been told I have a unique ability because I have a technical background. So because of that, we do have the knowledge catalog that allows you to access, categorize, share data, and whatever assets, wherever they are, it doesn't matter, and manage to operationalize and automate the management of models and tools across your business with trust and transparency. And our answer for that is Watson AI OpenScale. We have a portfolio for AI that is top of the line. And we have a lot of cloud service providers out there today who actually are using Watson. And if they haven't started, they're starting to now. So I'm going to ask you to think back to the beginning where I was talking to you all and I was talking about modernization, because that's really important moving forward. People still have mission critical applications out there, and the next big thing is really taking those mission critical applications and actually layering it with AI. That really is chapter 2 of the cloud. And even if you don't believe me, it's gonna happen, because I see it happening every day with the hundreds of service providers that I currently work with. So I think David has some questions for me. I think there's some hard questions.
So first of all, let's have a big round of applause for Marie Douglas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome.
So the question on everybody's mind here is what we've read about recently, the acquisition of IBM of Red Hat. So my question to Marie is, we have red and we have blue. What does the new converged organization look like? What color is it?
There is no color. But here's the thing, what a lot of people don't realize, and again, we are two separate companies right now and will remain so until transfer of trade. But what's important about all of this is the fact that this actually gives our customers, our partners, our ecosystem, much more control of what they're going out and demonstrating and talking to our clients about, and that is the ability to use any vendor that you want to use. I was telling David before I got on stage that one of the things that is very, very interesting is the fact that there's so many companies that we used to be frenemies with, or they were our competitors. And to me, with this acquisition, that's gone. Now is just all of us have to work together, whether we know it or not. But there is no more competition. I look at Red Hat as kind of the cowboy on the white horse coming in with the white hat and just kind of leveling the playing field for everybody to work together. So the name of the game is open, and it's the ability to build and move your applications on as many clouds as you want.
So we could say that red and blue gives us green, and it's green for the end of vendor lock-in.
Yes.
Yes. Second question, adoption challenges. You talked a lot about AI and how do we internalize it and the tools we have, but how do we get our employees and our people to adopt it and have a culture of inclusion in these new tools? So I'm interested in adoption challenges.
There are a lot of adoption challenges. One of the biggest challenges that I see on a frequent basis is, for example, in the data center, where the CEO who I've met with will say, this is my business problem. And we will have a service provider come in and build a solution. And we will get pushback from the data center because they think we're pushing them out of a job, or we're pushing out some methodology that they want to hold on to. What they wind up realizing is that actually we're just giving them a new way to work. And so it really, I think, depends a lot on educating the team and letting them know exactly what this new application, what this going to cloud is going to mean versus it's going to take away your job.
I like that. People's fear of change is the fear of the unknown and the fear of losing control of their destiny. If we can show them what their new role will become and transform into the new world, that will give them a sense of calm and contentment going forward.
No, well, I mean, one of the things that a lot of my friends laugh about is I am so AI, it's ridiculous. I mean, my whole home is just totally powered by AI. And yes, I use competitors, but it doesn't matter. It makes my life easier. For someone who travels a lot, who has a large team, this really does make my life a lot better. But I will say one thing. Last year we had a power outage in New York that lasted for like, I think 4 days, and I was a maniac. But, you know, hey, at the end of the day, the lights came back on, and so did my AI capabilities. So, I mean, this is nothing to fear of. It just makes your life easier. The other thing I would ask is that I am actually going to be going out to the IBM booth, so if there's any of you who want to hold a one-on-one, I'm happy to do it.
So where is your booth? How do they find you, Marie?
A03.
A03, that's a nice easy number.
Yeah, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, one more time, please help me thank Marie Douglas for joining us today.
Thank you, guys.